Like, and you know that fine girl that always wants to, in quotes, the ugly best friend.
You don't wear heels, blah blah, you look like a Iroko tree. But you know, if someone tell you, oh, the way you smell is funny, auntie, spend money on perfume. Don't say you love yourself and still be smelling funny.
No, that's true. Like,
I was always wearing God. If I'm going to bake a mud to magnets.
Because I don't think there's anyone who has reached a point in their life where they're like, I love myself, and it's it. Like, you can never reach that point of I've arrived.
hello guys, welcome to my channel. As you can see today, we have these lovely ladies here.
Hello.
Well, so today we're gonna have a discussion about girl stuff, about self-love, about insecurities. We're just going to give our thoughts on them, yeah. And I especially chose these ladies because I believe God will use them and they have a lot to share with us, yes. So quickly, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. I believe you know me already. Okay, my name is Sandra. I'm from Ghana, yeah. So I'll make them introduce themselves, yes. So.
Okay, hi guys. I'm Olivia and I'm from Cameroon.
Hello, my name is Blessing and I'm from Nigeria.
Hey there, my name is Fatuma from Zambia.
Hi, I'm Sophia from Rwanda.
I'm Mariam from Nigeria.
Rachel from Ghana. Alright, so get yourself a cup of coffee, tea, whatever you can get, and then sit back, yeah, because we have a lot of stuff to share with you. Well, so quickly, our topic is self-love, right? So, what do you ladies think? What do you think about self-love? When you just hear self-love, what comes into mind? What comes into mind? Self-love.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
I personally think self-love is about you. Yeah, not necessarily that you think about yourself too much, not about others, but you care and you think of yourself, yes, at an extent. Even as you think about others, you also consider yourself. Yeah.
Alright, you wanted to say something?
I was gonna say that I feel self-love is self-awareness.
Yeah.
But when someone says self-love, when I hear self-love, I hear self-awareness.
Anything else?
For me, I think self-love is just as it is like loving yourself wholeheartedly, like loving yourself with the goods and the bad and accepting yourself for who you really are.
Wow. Talking about that, I think I've heard people really take this self-love thing and like they take it in a bad way, right? So what do you think from a Christian perspective, right? Because I think the thing I heard was like, you don't have to focus on yourself, you should care about people. I don't know, what do you think about it? Is it bad? Or is it that some people are doing it in a wrong way? What do you think about it?
I think you can't love someone else without loving yourself first, because it just boils down to you. Like, you're going to show what you've also known to be yourself. Like I don't know how I'm going to explain that, but if you're going to show love to someone, then you have to also love yourself, because you can't give someone something you don't have. So if you don't know how to learn to love yourself, you won't be able to love someone else. But I think that we in a society will kind of like take it in the wrong way. There's some people take it in the wrong way, but I just feel like we really need to understand the whole concept and all that, because it also has to do with some kind of on an emotional level and all those kind of things. So yeah, but some people take it the wrong way. Yeah.
Yes. Anyone else?
Okay, regarding self-love, okay. like she said, I feel you cannot give what you don't have, right? Like, so if you've not been able to find yourself in like a situation where you're able to nurture yourself and, you know, groom yourself, how are you supposed to now find a friend, take them out of whatever situation it is that they might be going through, right? And then if we're talking about self-love and like emotions now, okay, firstly, like, I think why you said it's bad and stuff like that is because they're probably, okay, for you, just example, right?
Yeah.
Your own example of self-love is when I take myself out, get my nails done and stuff like that. But for someone else, it's like when they take a week off social media and stuff like that, and then they're just meditating and stuff like that. For someone else, it's drinking, man. Getting drunk, you know, that's their own. Yeah, exactly. That's their own example of self-love. So now I don't think if I'm not sure how to say it, but like it's if whatever it is you're doing is not making you better in like a certain way or another, then we can say it's bad. Yeah.
I think that when it comes to the main part that you mentioned of Christians thinking or coming to the conclusion that the idea of self-love could be wrong, I feel like they have said it's a matter of not understanding what self-love really is, because even Scripture encourages us to love others as we love ourselves. Now, what does that really mean? Because I don't think there's anyone who has reached a point in their life where they're like, I love myself, and it's it. Like, you can never reach that point of I've arrived, right? So I feel as Christians we should have the understanding of how humility has to come out of the Scripture. Being concerned, the way, like she said, the way I want to take a week off and feel free, like the way I want to like get off social media, the way I feel the need, a valid need to have that thing that shows about my love, my self-love, that concern, that pursuit. I must have the same compassion towards someone else in terms of their need, to what they need to actually experience that thing of loving themselves. What can I do to help you reach a point where you also feel that indeed I have shown myself some love, without being judgmental and making it seem like we should do things the same way. I should, as a Christian, when I pursue the way I feel I should do things with my Christian values, I should also be concerned equally, like I'm concerned for myself, for somebody else.
So then, where is the line? Like, we are supposed to take care of ourselves and other people. I don't know, the same amount and the same rate. I don't know.
No.
Okay, so. Wait, how should we do it?
I think yes.
No.
I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but there is this quote I heard from Mahatma Gandhi, right? He's like, you find yourself when you lose yourself in service to other people. I don't know if I understood it well or not, but when I saw that quote, I was like, okay, where does where is self-care in this? How can I feel like how can I go and serve people even when I don't know what I can offer? Motivational quote. So yeah, how do we do it? Where do we draw the line? Is there even a line?
For me, I think that, like, in which sense are we talking about the self-love now? Because relating with Scripture, I don't think you have to love, like the Word of God wants us to love people and forget ourselves. Do you know what I mean? The Word of God brings us more to dying to ourselves for the benefit of other people.
Who dying to self?
Yes, actually. I know there's a word somewhere there Second Corinthians that say that, like Paul says that, like he goes on what he's going through because he wants to bring life to the other people. We are now relating to our own Christian life with our own self-love. Self-love for me right now, where do you draw the line? Your loving yourself must not affect somebody else in a negative way. Your self-loving should not be a hindrance for someone else to be who they are, or it should not, how can I say it? Because there are some people that take self-love yes, me, myself, and I, yeah, and stuff. But in the kind of way you're loving yourself, are you being a negative influence or a negative person to the next person? Okay, I've said next a lot of times. The next person around you, you get me? Yeah. So I think there's some kind of balance that you have to put in this.
So I should take care of myself so that. No, dying to yourself. I don't know. Do you get what I like for me when I saw that quote, I felt like okay. I just imagined myself, right? Just being available for everyone else, and then I'm not available for myself. I don't do anything for myself. And for me, when I do that a lot, like even now, when I do that a lot, I don't know. I feel like I'm just. I'm so frustrated, right? So I feel like the whole, I don't know if I understood the quote well, but I felt like I should just go serve people, give myself to people, help them, do what, and then what about me? Who is going to take care of me? Okay, who is going to take care of me? You know, if I'm not taking care of myself. So how do I make sure that I'm taking care of myself? How do I make sure I'm not doing it wrongly? Yes.
Well, you want to say something? Well, I think there is a misconception, like when my sister over there said that the Bible encourages us to die to ourselves. But she said something before that, before dying. She said we must serve others and neglect ourselves. Like that's how I.
No, not neglect ourselves, but
and not care about ourselves.
Not care about ourselves. They say that the word says that you have to. The interest of someone else must be greater than yours. Like how can I? That actually says that even the word that says that there is more joy in giving than receiving. So that's how I relate to that. Like you find your true. There's more value in you being of service, giving than receiving stuff. But now in the relating with self-love, that's what my question, because you want to answer your question. What are we talking about? Are we talking about self-love, about taking of ourselves in detriment of others, or taking of ourselves and taking care of other people at the same time?
I think, okay, now I get it. I feel as we, to be able to take care, like Sandra said, when I'm busy taking of other people and I get to the point where I'm like, who is taking care of me? It means that something is not right. I feel many people find a problem with this, but I encourage putting yourself first on the list, because you have to have the strength emotionally, mentally, physically to carry whoever you have to carry, to be able to be there for somebody else. So I feel many people find it selfish to actually put themselves first and understand that, okay, Sandra comes to me, she needs this help, but I'm in this emotional state that I can't help you. And if I force myself to do so, I won't do it at the at the potential I could have, you get, and I should have the wisdom to be like, you know what, I cannot be of help to you right now, but I know a sister that can help you in this situation. I know a group, a support group that you can reach out to until I get myself all right, because at the end of the day, I am useless to whoever is out there if I am not at a safe place with myself. I think that's something that many people, I don't know, don't pay attention to in regards of being able to help somebody else, because that's where the concept of you don't love yourself enough. Why can't you see that you are overdoing it? Can't you see that you are overloaded? Like, yet if you put to consideration that you also have to have time for yourself and be like, recharge, reboot, get all the strength and the energies, go to scripture, call upon the Lord, do all that you guys to do to be at a place where you be of service to these people in a way that God actually expects of you. Because if He brings it to you, He knows you're going to deliver. Now, am I at the position to actually deliver? And what do I do about that?
Okay, let me read this scripture. It's Philippians 2:3. It says, "Don't do anything from selfish ambition or from a cheap desire to boast, but be humble toward one another, always considering others better than yourselves." Okay. What, like the last one, right? What does it mean?
I feel like it's a consideration in the sense that do not just think as though they are better than you. Okay, naturally we are all supposed to think about each other the same way, in the sense that we're supposed to love each other. It goes back to that verse about love. Love each other as you love yourselves. So like it's on the basic. But actually the problem is that we as human beings, we are kind of selfish on the base level. On the base level, we actually are. So that's why, that person in the Bible was saying that, you need to give a little bit much more so that, it can stabilize everything. That's from my point of view.
Do you have anything to say?
Okay, I would add on what she said concerning, like the example she gave, that Sandra comes to me to ask for help. When we talk of self-love, to me, I take it like it's like a magnet. For somebody to come to you, help me in this, then they saw something in you. So you reflect who you are. In the sense that if we talk of self-love, I care for myself, I do good things and the like I consider myself in whatever I do. Even when somebody comes to me, they saw something in me. If I take care of myself, if I consider myself in what I do, even helping another person wouldn't be a problem. A lot of people are suffering from depression, or some people don't have love. But for me to help another, then I need to have it. If I say I have self-love, it would be easier for me to help another. Even when we go back to the Bible, the scripture says, we talk of God. We say God is love. We say, let's go to God. He's going to help us. We go to God because we've already seen what God has. God has love. God has, like the scripture talks of what God has. But the main thing that the scripture says God is love. So we go to God when we have problems, when we're in pain, when our friends disappoint us or whatever, because we know God has everything it takes. So God himself is self-love, but it doesn't mean that God is selfish. Despite him being self-love, despite him being love, but he still cares for the world. He still cares for everybody. So we shouldn't say, no, when you love yourself, then you're being selfish. If we say we're being selfish, then in that case we're saying God is selfish, of which that's not the case. Because if God was selfish, he wouldn't have been protecting us, his grace and everything else. But God is not selfish because he still takes care of us.
Okay, and have we talked about this, but the line between loving ourselves and being self-centered? When do we do it way too much? Yes. Like, when you have to tell me, sister, take a break, like, you have to come back. Yes.
I think the motive behind is what makes it different. Because I can do a good thing, but because I'm self-centered, I want people to acknowledge that I've done something good. I'll give you the money you need. I will see you do something in public and help you, and then when they're like, oh, so thanks for have helped there, and I get what I wanted. You get? Yet I can also do the same thing and do it out of service to the Lord. I'm doing this to touch God's heart, to bless you, to reflect God to you, that when you see my actions, you'll want to know more about God. Even when you ask me, I'll direct you to God. Like, no, God is the giver, God is the provider. The motive behind is what makes the difference. Because it's not always obvious.
True. Yeah. Hi.
Hi, I hope you enjoyed the video and you had great value out of it. Let me know what you learned in the comment section below. If anything resonated with you, just put it down below, and be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on the second part of this video.